We are back on the grind. Ah, what a lovely day. It's been a busy one. I hope some people will show up, but let's just tweet out. Not tweet. I don't use Twitter. Twitter's cringe. Or X now, I suppose I must say. It is X now. Oh my goodness, no way. You know, I was just about to post that I was here. Welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you here. We're playing some more Conquest of Elysium 5. That's only going to be for a couple hours because I have a lot more to do today. Make sure to tell me if my volume is doing good. Yeah, that's entirely fair. Like, it is a busy Friday night, and I wouldn't blame anyone for checking off early, believe me. Wizard boy. Yeah, but we're glad that you're here even for the short term. And hey, that counts with everyone else. It's very good to have you all here. Alright. What are you playing on tabletop? Something good, I hope. Maybe Tau? Mayhaps? Who knows? Solar Rays. Regen and Greater Blessing. Greater Blessing is not bad, actually. Okay. Cave Cow. What the fuck is that? Gross. Absolutely foul. Swamp monsters, I can deal with swamp monsters. Swamp monsters, deleted. Probably. I don't know. Jungle Warrior and Tribal Warrior. That sounds awful. Hey, at least I have Fire Magic. Fire Magic is based. Mostly because I can actually kill things that have regen a little bit better. There we go. Great Blessing. Shadowrun 5th edition. Ooh. Yeah, I've heard that Shadowrun is very difficult to play. But good on you for, you know, making some good modifications to it. It's always hard to get people to okay modifying a system, even when it's a bad system sometimes. Don't I know it? Many, many times have I been stymied by the lack of creativity amongst my peers. Oh, good! Good. It's always good to see our heroes thriving and/or, you know, fighting the British, which is another way of thriving. It's just slightly less successful a majority of the time. Now, here's the real question. Are they SAS because they're hobgoblins? Or are they British because... Or are they... Sorry. Are they SAS because the hobgoblins are the British? Or are the British just inherently hobgoblins, and thus, as a result, you've made them British? That's the real question that I have. Real question right there. Oh, boy. No, I'm just kidding. Slaves. Free front line. Free cheap front line, too, which is very, very nice. Ceremony of Lord War. Yeah, Jaguars. That's about what I expected. Yeah. I think we can beat these cave cows now. They are literal cattle, after all. Ooh, they do a lot of acid damage. But they are very vulnerable to getting hit by spears, which is about what I was hoping for. Yeah, that'll do. Now, I have a very nice piece of real estate. It's free real estate. It is. In this case, absolutely. Spec Ops because it sounded better than Hobgoblin Seals. Yeah, I mean, Hobgoblin Seals would be like Americans from New Jersey, or something of that type. At least that would be my estimation of New Jerseyites. Yeah. Don't take me on face value there. But I think that New Jersey could generate human beings that look roughly equivalent to a hobgoblin. Yep. You'll see soon. See, I wasn't thinking about doing a stream, but now I did promise it, and I would feel bad if I said I wasn't going to do it. So, short one, we get in. Before, we are doing the Titans video tonight, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit worried about this one, because there was a lot of Titans to pick from, but so many of them didn't have much detail, especially the Orc ones. I was like, these are so wrong on the lore side of things. It's just like, this either just doesn't work, or it would be very bad at its job. Like, a bunch of them are like, oh, it can fight Titans, and I'm like, how? How you fight Titans with that? It's literally made of scrap. It's not like the metal becomes stronger just because the Orcs think it is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get creative with my reasoning, which is fine. That's my job, and I'm very happy about my job. I love it. Crit succeed their charisma checks, form a riot, get the local army on their side, overthrow the local king, install their regimental commander as a pro-imperial government. Whoo! You're doing a reverse chaos cult with that one. Usually it's the chaos cult who infiltrates the military, turns the people against their government, and overthrows it for chaos. Good on you. A reverse chaos is sometimes just as good as an actual chaos. Sometimes. Not always. Hey, I got a hero. Wanda, with a magic beam. I wonder if Wanda with his magic beam can kill this one singular dwarf. My bet is on no, but who knows? He is a dwarf. And dwarves in this game are literal. Oh my god, just beheaded in a single strike. Way to frickin' go, I guess. That is a very dead dwarf, I tell you what. That's the deadest dwarf I ever seen. Yeah, just gonna move you guys all down here. Take this little township. These guys will get some nice XP. 5 rolls in a row below 6. Oh my god, that's wild. You can never tell what they're gonna do, though. I tell you what, they will always surprise you, those players. And one of my favorite things, and just, you know, favorite thing in general, is I often find that it's not the super crazy hyper players or the massively nerdy, like, bookish players who do insane shit. It's almost always, in my experience, the ones who were, like, sitting on something for several months out of game time, and then they pull up some random shit out of their ass, and it's like, whoa, hey, someone's been sitting in a corner paying attention. But yeah. There are always players who are the front of the party, and players who are the face of the party, and players who are the, like, rear-end logistics of the party. Usually it's the difference between, like, the spellcaster and the high charisma player. So, like, you never have a wizard who's always out in front talking to the nobles or whatever, or at least you usually don't. There will always be a bard or a cleric or someone who is both more societally acceptable, but it's often those back-end players that really come in clutch when it's time to actually do the important stuff. 0 bloodshed. Yeah. Calls the insurgency they're fighting. I mean, yeah. Authoritarian control. It's what the Imperium loves. It makes their jobs so much easier. But, yeah. See, because you're doing it in a different setting. And you're doing it with the Imperium coming in. That's really... Rarely does that actually happen. There's been, like, a couple of instances, like in the Kuranos Expanse, where 40k has the Imperium be, like, the you know, brand new leaders of a group, or they're just coming into an area to, you know, get connections there or anything like that. That rarely happens. So you're doing something that really doesn't happen very often, which I think is very cool and quite impressive of you. Sun Warriors, hell yeah. Don't even know what they are. Definitely taking them. But yeah. And very rarely does the Imperium fight an insurgency. That's... Some would say, unfortunately, rarely, because it would be really cool to see how the Imperium fights actual insurgency, because they're almost always using trad tactics, which is difficult. Difficult to, like, change, you know? Feathered Warriors. Alright, Sun Warriors. Okay, they have an axe and a javelin, slightly more skilled, and then the Feathered Warriors, they have a little bit less health, but they have a javelin and a mace. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, Papawaktil. So society. I love this faction because everything is just Mesoamerica. What the fuck? Oh, monster fish. That's an anglerfish, my friend. I think you've mixed up your fish. Also, can I use my powers yet? Yeah, Greater Ceremony of Lord of War. That's the one I wanted. Cast in land locations. Okay, cool. So in a couple of turns, I will use that to become a god and/or to summon god to kill people. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Hey, coal mine. Nice. I need that coal. Excuse for a D&D setting and a wide variety of enemy types. Gnoll Corset. I don't know. I feel like gnolls would be afraid of water. Maybe. Because, like, you know, furred creatures not liking water. Maybe not. But that was, like, my impression. Maybe they're, yep. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable. It just never occurred to me the whole, like, swashbuckling gnoll archetype. I guess it makes sense. In some scenarios, there are, like, wolves, and I guess... or hyenas. And I guess, pirates are space hyenas? Or, sorry, ocean hyenas? Jesus Christ, pirates are not space hyenas. Though space hyenas is a based title, and I think that the title of High Lord of the Space Hyenas would be one of the coolest in the Imperium. You know, because the Imperium has that option. But still, I think that'd be very cool. Space hyena. Yeah, well, yeah, it would make sense that they're great with boarding actions. They have, what, like a 7-foot wingspan? Motherfuckers are just, like, reaching from ship to ship with their bare hands and just going, ah, gotcha. I can see that. Also, aren't they, like, yeah, because I remember they're, like, weirdly long-limbed. That's what I remember about them. And then in addition to that, in addition to being weirdly long-limbed, they also have really, really long, like, claws, so they can kind of hook into stuff. At least that was what I took away from their design. Hey, man, that's a lot of tribal kings. It's like 4 tribal kings and no actual tribesmen. Alright, well, time to summon God! Moon Temple Attendant. Yeah, it sucks I can't get that. Ceremony of Lord of War. I'm gonna get that one. Oh, it's a giant Balaam, which is a giant jaguar. And more jaguars. Cool. Did I ask for this? Can I not? Can I only get Ritual of Grand Mastery? Oh, that's annoying. Okay. So the choices are to wait a couple of turns. Canine species, different proportions. Hi! Hey, welcome. Glad that you're here. Welcome to the stream. We are Pim chillin' over here. Glad that you like my stuff. It's a real pleasure to do it, and I know that a lot of people are kind of starved for 40k content, which is not the reason that I made the channel. The reason I made the channel was because I really liked War Thunder, and I wanted to play more War Thunder. But after, you know, 5 years of life, I decided that instead of War Thunder, I was going to do something that I enjoyed way more, which was Warhammer. Because in the meantime, I had picked up the most expensive and addictive hobby known to mankind. Warhammer 40k. Yeah, it sucks the life out of you. I ain't gonna lie. It sucks the life out of you. Which, you know, I was cool with. I was cool with it killing me. I was just like, ah yes, finally, I finished high school. It's time to bankrupt myself. But hey, for a month or two during the pandemic, that was literally one of the biggest things keeping me alive and sane. So I hold no grudges against that. Oh my god, is that a giant macaw? I've summoned a fucking massive macaw. Okay, its main attacks are drop big ass fucking rock, cast magic somehow, and then rip your fucking eyes out. The Greater Macaw, ladies and gentlemen. So that's literally the coolest thing I have ever had in my armies. Let's go obliterate these mountain incels, also known as pale ones. Actually, that's kind of a mean thing to call them. They are mountain Neanderthals, troglodytes. Yeah, troglodytes is actually the more correct term. Yep. Yeah, 5 years ago. I know, it's hard to imagine, but that was what got me into Warhammer. I was so unbelievably isolated that I was just like, I need something to do. And there was a local hobby shop, and I had been looking into the Warhammer books, because I was like, oh, I could use a cool book series. That would help me when I'm, trapped underground, essentially. Turned out no, wasn't just a book series, and then all of my money disappeared. And I started collecting Death Guard. And then I bullied a friend into joining the hobby, and all of a sudden, Warhammer became my life. And now, I'm sharing it with others after half a decade. God, I don't want to think of it as half a decade. What's a nicer, less depressing way of saying a really long time? I don't know. Yeah. It was a lot of ups and downs. It was basically nothing but ups and downs. It was, what do they say? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. We lived, we laughed, we loved. We created armies made entirely of Terminators because I thought Terminators were the shit. It was so funny. It's funny how I started my hobby, because I was so poor. I didn't have any money, because at the time, I couldn't go out and work. Like, I was ready to go out and work. I wanted to go do something, but until this point, I had earned all of my money by essentially, like, doing yard and lawn work for people in my neighborhood. And so, no one was doing that because of the pandemic, so I was so poor. So, I had to go on the GW website, and what I ordered every time was I would order the Terminators, because per model cost, the Blightlord Terminators were the cheapest back in the day. They were 60 bucks. And then I would buy a $15 pack of limited edition Plague Marines, and my entire army consisted of about 12, or eventually it became more because I bought another actual pack, but it went to like 22 Plague Marines and 10 Blightlord Terminators plus Typhus. And that was my entire army. It was just like, it was the equivalent of like 30 Plague Marines, and 10 of them were in Terminator armor. So my entire game plan was just, I'm going to form a living wall of Terminators, and then I'm going to rush a line of Plague Marines past them, and try and obliterate whatever is fighting me via pure bolter fire, essentially. And that was back when Blightlords had so many good weapons. Oh my god. That was so wild. The old Blightlords. I shouldn't say old, because technically you can still get them, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same. My Blightlords, what have they've massacred my boys? Yeah, they're not shit now, but they're not as good as they were when they first came out when I joined in like early 8th edition. Not as good as they used to be. For sure. I really hope that it's not spring, because if it is spring, then I'm gonna die. Okay, thank God. You are joining. Look at these guys. Little flying eagle warriors. Cool. Gonna take this from the local witch. I do not like witches. Yeah, honestly, the tabletop books are literally a better investment, objectively. And here's the other thing I noticed. I was like, man, I thought, because I played D&D forever, and I started off with D&D, so I was like, I know how D&D works, I know how tabletops work, I can play tabletop games, but I literally I never connected the dots because I was so isolated when I was starting the hobby that I was like, what's the point of trying to learn a TTRPG system for Warhammer? There's no one around to play it with. So I was like, I was in this mindset of like, sure, great, it exists, but since there's no one here that would actually join me in playing, there's literally no point in learning how to play them. So that's why I actually started getting the models, or that's why I started with the models instead, because there were people around who wanted to play with the models. They thought that they were cool, and they had disposable income, and that's how I bullied one of my very good friends into becoming a Warhammer player. And now, unfortunately, he does play Ultramarines and Imperial Knights, but we love him anyway. We do. We hope he gets through this dark time in his life, and that one day he will improve his choice of faction. But but yes, he does. He is our Ultramarine player. Though to be honest, he doesn't hate Chaos. He is a big World Eaters fan. He was in the same campaign that Dante was in. Dante Wild, my boy. So yeah, he's a great guy. I like him a lot, and I really do owe a ton of my, like, really my fascination with the game, I owe it to him. Because he was the one who, like, we signed a pact on in the beginning of the pandemic. We were like, okay, if I'm doing this, you're doing this with me, and we need to help each other stay on the wagon, essentially, and continue engaging with the content so that we can both do it together. Essentially, neither one of us would be making a bad investment because we could always play with each other. That was the plan. Yeah, there you go. That's another great reason. Like, monetary restriction is the thing that kind of guides a lot of homebrewery, because I don't have money for books. Do you have money for books? I don't think most people have money for books. And D&D is easy, because everyone steals the D&D content. D&D doesn't have a license to its own content, basically. You essentially just get carte blanche to copy and paste whatever the hell you want on a wiki now. You know, don't tell them I said that, or else Wizards of the Coast is going to come busting down my door. But, literally, I paid for 3 books in the D&D series, and never again will I give them a cent of my money. Because, in a lot of ways, they have damaged the IP of the game in general, but in a lot of, you know, minor ways, they've also made it very obvious that they expect all of their content to basically be stolen, and I'm like, yeah, no, it should be, because you have done some very unfortunate things that have resulted in it being stolen all the time. And not for unreasonable reasons. The prices on those books are disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, I don't worry about money anymore. Like, if I wanted to get into another TTRPG series, I would just buy my way in, because I have the ability to now. I don't have to worry as much about that anymore. Holy shit, are these giant snakes? Plumed serpent. Strong venomous bite. Drive-through RPG focused on realism and small unit tactics in modern day. That sounds cool as hell. Why is it called drive-through though? So like, oh, is it like where you can pick up little pieces of systems? That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. Eagle Warriors. Want me some Eagle Warriors? Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Shadowrun. Can you give me like a shot? What should I know about it? Because I know I should know something. Alright, hold up. Special power. Yeah, I can't do it just yet, but I can do this. Boom. Feather Warriors. Shouldn't have done that. Boom. Feather Warriors. Alright. Yeah. Now that's a sizable army. Sizable. Oh, by the way. Oh, it's got, yeah, there I remember that there was a spot where we essentially pirated Only War. Yeah. Only War stuff was pretty easy to find, honestly. I may still have the PDF for all the Only War stuff somewhere on some computer hard drive. Yeah, I guess the dude who got it, for me, probably found it there. That would be most reasonable. What is this, gentleman? Okay, we're gonna... Boom. Second giant panther. Bunch of extra jaguars, not panthers. Panthers are black. Cyberpunk, but with magic. 2080. Mix of government and megacorps. I mean, that's a lot of, like, sci-fi dystopias in the future. Holy hell. This is kind of an unfair battle, don't you think? Bro's about to get murdered by the giant macaw. Oh my god, that's a witch. Gentlemen, ladies, we have a fucking witch. I'm furious. I'm absolutely enraged. There's a witch. How dare she exist in my presence? I am the only true spell slanger in this map. Eagle Warriors. Tribal Warriors. Yep, we're gonna pop up some more Feathered Warriors. grab everything in here. That is a hella big army, and this Wizard of the Golden Dawn is about to receive some, get absolutely memed on, nerd. Alright, we're gonna get some Sun Warriors here. I just want to build up a nice little army in that second capital. Ooh. Oh, dude, he's got hella magic items. He's got mirror images, constant mirror images, shock resistance, and he's got double experience, and he's got a scroll of heavenly ascension. This is about to hurt a lot. However, I'm fairly confident we can murder this dude. We have lots of... Oh, yeah, he's just dead instantly. Wow. Wow. That was easy. How actually dare you, you foul creature of the night. I am going to put you down like a rabid dog. Witches, man. All they do is... Yeah, peace, man. Or, peace, ma'am. Y'all have a good time. I hope you enjoy your game. I hope you win. If you can be said to win certain RPGs. But, still, hope you win. Alright, we gotta find and kill this witch. We have a witch... Oh my god, there's a dragon over there. Luckily, dragons are absolute pushovers in this game. So they shouldn't be any trouble. Moon Temple Attendant. Okay, well. I'm gonna get the Moon Temple Attendant here. Some Feathered Warriors. What spells you got? Moonlight and Shadow Form. That'll work. Alright. Siren, you are our first test subject. I'm pretty sure you're gonna die. Yep, that works. Okay, getting these spies out of the way because they are annoying. Okay. Now, time to kill this dragon. Gotta love... Only good dragon is a dead dragon. I say that, but this is actually a Yinglong, which is technically a good luck dragon in China. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good luck stuff in China that doesn't make a ton of sense. But hey, you live, you learn, you get invaded by the Japanese. Just how it happens. Things happen. Live, learn, get invaded by the Japanese, in that order. Usually. Alright, got the rest of them. Let's go after this dragon. Alright, you, homie, need some friends. Some feathered warriors. Alright. Need some more feathered warriors. Just one more set of feathery boys, and then grab them all and send them west. I'm probably only gonna be on for another like 20-30 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll see. I am kind of on a tight schedule. I have lots of things to do. Wow, that dragon has hella magic. Luckily, I have insanely good cats. Good kitty. That is an impressive army. Let's push that north. And in the meantime, let's get some Jaguar Warriors, and some Jaguar Warriors, and some Jaguar Warriors, just hella Jaguar Warriors. Is that a tribal king I hear? That's not the important thing. The important thing is the Eagle Warriors and the Sun Warriors. Oh my god, there's another Tatsu. Come here, Yinglong. I'm about to give you Black Lung. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I am. How do you give a dragon Black Lung? I like the lore from the like Aragon series or from the Inheritance series, where they say that dragons basically have like sparking teeth in the back of their mouth, and that's what allows them to breathe fire. It's a very biological reason for a fantasy creature, which, let's be honest, is straight up regular for my MO. I am a big fan of putting logic to stuff that both didn't need it and didn't ask for it. That is literally my modus operandi. That is how I work. That is the function of my channel. I talk about things that people don't want to or don't care about. Yay! That's the whole point. That's what we do. Also, more feathered warriors, please. I don't know what the feathered warriors actually do. I just know that they cost metal, and since I have hella metal, I want to use all of them. Hella metal is important. Alright. Jaguar warriors. Alright. And now we use special power. Greater ceremony, Lord of War. I'm gonna be honest, that is an incredible advantage over all of our enemies. Let's use it one more time. Oh. Oh, so that just buffed, like, my entire army. Hell yeah. Alright, and we're gonna buy some stuff at this temple city. Cheap as hell. Let's see. Nice money. Oh, seemingly unremarkable fishing man. Okay, well, I will not remark on him then. He is unremarkable. I will follow the instructions and not remark him. I could buy one of those every single turn and still not be out of metal, literally ever. It's hilarious. Alright. Time for some Sun Warriors. Yep. It's gonna be a lot of this, I'm not gonna lie. Got hella Sun Warriors down there, so that's like 10 of them. Well, every now and then we gotta work. Oh, I'm incredibly quiet? Sorry. Is this a little bit better? Just let me know if that's good. I want to, yeah. Cause I noticed that in the last video. I was like, there is something wrong, because I am way too quiet, and I shouldn't be. Tell me if at any point this helps. Is that better? I'm not trying to, like, yell into my mic, because that's going to strain my voice. Hecka a lot better? Okay, so, let me tell you exactly what I did, because it's hilarious. All that I did is I curved the microphone in towards my mouth. Because this is a head mic, and because it's, like, right next to me, because I'm not rambling, it changes the pitch a lot. So I was listening to the video before, and I'm like, man, why is it so quiet? And I'm like, I realized I was recording the whole thing with my mic way away from my face. Because originally I thought it was like a, you know, a mechanical issue, or like my setup was shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, my setup is shit, but I knew there was some slightly better reason as to why my computer wasn't picking up the audio, and that reason was because the pickup was not close to my mouth, and now it is right next to my face. So thank you for telling me that. That is good to know. I do need that feedback, because Lord knows I am stupid with technology, and I don't really know when something is or is not working, especially while recording. That was the other thing. I was like, I couldn't have told you anything was wrong until the recording came out, and I was like, man, I'm hella quiet in this for some reason. Why? And then I realized it's because my freaking microphone was too far away from my face. Hooray! Yeah. Hi, also, you haven't been on the stream recently, or at all, actually. I don't think I remember you being here. Hi, welcome. Glad to have you. We've had a lot of new friends. Don't have mods? I mean, you mean like moderators for the chat? No. It's just me. I have no friends working with me, unfortunately. All of them refuse to be part of my projects. Yeah, my moderation is done by, essentially, if somebody says anything mean or rude, I'm just going to kick them and delete it from the chat and hope that my channel is so small that YouTube won't bother me. But, yeah, that is kind of an oversight. I should probably look into that, but at the moment, I don't have the ability to do so, unfortunately. Oh my god, why are there so many of these actual bastards? Oh my lord, there's so many. Hey! Why are you here? I thought you had school. Hey, you have schoolwork! You have school. I know for a fact you have schoolwork, because my posts haven't come up yet. Hey, you need to go and do your schoolwork, Raptor, my friend, unless you are going to tell me that you're ready to get back on and start doing some posts again. You, my friend, need to get back to your schoolwork. Yeah. Oh, you are pushing it, mister. You're pushing it, I swear. I swear. If you if you don't get your work done right now. Yeah. Feel free. Like I do the playlist just for like your guys' peace of mind, basically. Like if you're looking for a certain video and it's like you're at the end of your rope as far as deciding where it is, and you're kind of like, I don't know where to find it, then I've every single thing on my channel that I want you to see is in a playlist somewhere. So don't worry about that at all. Feel free to just hook up all those. Because the other thing is, I also do a central playlist just for everyone. So, like, I myself, I put on the playlist and I just kind of shuffle it so that I can kind of get a feel for what's been going on, how I've been performing as a channel, and, you know, how do I say, like, getting some instant feedback. And it's not that I like listening to myself, I really don't. But I do like, I'm a big fan of, like, critiquing your own work. So I go back and I listen to videos a lot, and then from that I kind of make I make changes in later videos, so that I can ensure that there's like no further issues. So I've already had a lot of videos where I was like, I don't like how I said that, or I don't like the way that came off. Oh, am I still quiet, bud? See, I'm right next to the microphone. Is it still quiet for you guys? Oh, darn. I was really hoping that was all the issue was. I think I might really soon have to get a new setup, because admittedly, like, my microphone and stuff is 6 years old. It's you and the game audio. See, I want the game audio to be quiet. What if I change this? Hold up. How about that? Does that... Oh my god, that was the problem. Okay, holy shit. Okay, so the desktop audio affects my other audio. Is that better? Is that better? What's the video about? Oh, sorry, did I blast your ears? Sorry, homie, I didn't mean to. My bad. Oh my god. I shouldn't have made my decision so rashly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here, I'll turn it back down just a wee bit. Is that better? Is that better? I should be peeking just into the yellow. God damn it. Sorry, boys. I didn't mean. I wasn't thinking about it. Modifying that on the fly might have been a poor decision. Whoops. My bad. Sorry. That's better? Okay, good. Thank God. Alright. Sorry. Wait, there was a legitimate question a few seconds back. Whoops. So, what's the video about? So, I do these occasionally. It's a pre-video stream. Essentially, I'm doing the Xenos Titans video tonight at some time. And I like to do a stream beforehand in case anyone has questions, or if there's any last-minute, like, details that you guys wanted to ask about, or that you wanted me to include in the video. So, for example, I have a lot of concerns about doing this specific video. I have a lot of, like, worries, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what you guys want. So I was like, I'll do a stream before just in case anybody's like, hey, are you going to talk about this? Are you going to talk about that? And I can kind of voice my concern. The Harridan is a Titan? No, it flies. Not included. Also, that's more of a ship. That's like aircraft, bro. That's not a Titan. Also, Harridan? Bro, the Harridan, like the Tyranid Harridan? That's like a flyer. It's moving artillery in the air. It doesn't really hit the ground all that often. I wouldn't call it a Titan. Will not include that, no. Sorry, Sohi, you asked about why I record in the morning, or if it's my thing to say good morning. Well, so, back in the day, when I would do recordings... Oh, the Hierophant? Yeah, I think he knows what I'm including, because we know each other personally, and I told him. I think he's trying to troll me, my friend. But I appreciate your concern, and yes, the Hierophant will be included. Matter of fact, I actually love the Hierophant a lot, because it's one of the only Tyranid Titans that can stand up to the ground. But yeah, the Harridan basically gets absolutely crumped by like 90% of the other Titans. I think a Harridan versus a Reaver would be like it would not be a fair fight. It's huge and it's the greatest model to ever exist. How about this? When I do my video on Navy and aircraft, I will include a section about the Harrier, which I wasn't going to do because it isn't technically a vehicle. How about that? Is that a good deal with you? Oh, sorry. Back to the good morning thing. When I was doing this channel originally, 5 years ago, you'll take it, I know you. But when I was doing this 5 years ago, I was recording really late at night. Why does it have a giant battle parrot? My friend, that is the Great Macaw! With so much freaking health, 11 strength, and a ton of experience points. It is a blessed macaw. It is a stronger blessed macaw. It's killed 22 men. It has drop big-ass fucking rock as its main attack, which is a siege weapon, by the way. It can also cast magic somehow, and because it knows lore of the sun and lore of war spells, it can cast sunlight, regen, greater blessing, and fucking incinerate. This is not a macaw, this is a phoenix. I have made a discount phoenix. And yes, it is the biggest unit in my army. I love this thing. So, why I say good morning at the start of every video. So, back in the day, when I was recording as a teenager and I was playing War Thunder all the time, I was influenced by a couple of different YouTubers, and I was like, okay, everyone always has a catchphrase at the start of their video. And because I was recording so late at night that it was basically morning, I was saying it ironically as like, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So that was one thing. It was the kind of ironic thing of I'm staying up and it's hard to hear me over the game. Game audio is just a little too loud. Okay. Can I change the audio in the game? Sound. Tell me when it's good. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. How about that? Can you hear me now? Is it better to hear me now? Is that better? Is the game audio more on board? Are we more cool now? Are we all good? Better? Not the best, but just better? Because this will be the setup in future, so I'm trusting you two gentlemen to get her done, as it were. So yeah, the other thing that holy fuck, that's a lot of demons. Inu the Greater Devil, that is a, holy shit, that is a bearded greater demon of corn. Okay, well, let's see if the gods of the Maya can a pixelated succubus. I love how this game just has angry weather. Air elemental is just angry weather. So yeah, back then I was making a joke about having a bad sleep cycle and waking up so early in the morning, or recording so late at night that it was morning by the time that I was done. And the other part of it was I was actually influenced, because I'm a big history buff, by Good Morning Vietnam! The radio show from Vietnam. I forget what movie that dude was in, but that also influenced me a lot. And because I was playing War Thunder, and all my tanks were kind of in the World War II Vietnam-esque area, I thought it was appropriate How good is this dude? He's got like triple enchantments, sunlight, solar rays, strength. Ugh, that was tough. We got cooked. The bird has fallen. It is indeed a sad day. But here's the good thing. We have a friend, a very good friend down. Oh my god. What is that? Belial, Beelzebub, Asmodeus. Literal demons, man. Literal demons. What are you gonna do? See, I got crumped, but we live to crump another day. God, I do not envy myself in a couple of, in an hour or so having to talk about. Are they using didgeridoos? Yeah, that didgeridoo sound effect is the noise that it makes when you summon demons in this game. Don't know why. That's just the noise it makes. That's what demons sound like in this game, apparently. Not unrealistic, TBH. If there were demons in this world, they would live in Australia. 150%. 50% chance. Just an opinion thing. It is hot as hell down there. So, hey, I got a Sky Temple attendant. Honestly, that was the only thing I wanted. Wary of hotted demons? Oh my god, what are you? What? A horror mantis? What the fuck is that? Spiked arm, spiked arm, spiked arm, spiked arm. Triple experience. He gets stealth, acute senses, fire. What is this thing? Dude, you are fucked. I don't know what to tell you, man. You are... Oh my god, you're so dead. Bro just got executed as an Aussie. Well, my friend, I have to tell you, as someone who also comes from a very hot and uncomfortable place, it's not that I'm against your homeland. I do love Australia, but you cannot deny that your great forefathers who came to this land basically would die of going outside for a very long period of their history. I don't think we would disagree on the fact that a large number of your population just died from basically just inclement weather, because it is hot as hell down there. Your people are great. God, Australians are basically like just better Americans. I hate saying that, but it's often true. Like, y'all have some serious America energy with the advantage of living in a European-style country? I don't even want to call it that. Have a good night. Have a good night. I wouldn't call Australia European. I would call it like a fell mix between the two. It's like a brew, a witch's brew of country mentalities. But you guys also have a lot of stuff going on. Like, I focus on other types of politics, especially with my history. But Australia's, you know, always in the background, always there. I don't want to call it America, too. One, because Australians don't like that. You know, not that I'm concerned about that. I just, you know, I prefer not to insult people's homelands when I have the opportunity. 2.0. But they also have so much European about them. Not even just like culturally with the chippies and all their like European mentality, but it also has a lot to do with like, am I summoning fucking turkeys? Gentlemen, I need you to level with me. Would you be afraid of the battle turkey? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a turkey spirit double. Now, I don't know about you, but it has... No, the turkey does not have fucking magic. The turkey has magic. Oh my god. It has fucking magic. It has magic. It's a magic turkey. Oh, see, bush turkeys, now that would scare the shit out of me. Where are my sun warriors? Bush turkeys would scare the shit out of me, because those seem like something that would be way more dangerous in your country than they would be in mine. That is still way too many demons for me to fight. I need to summon more turkeys, apparently. Can I get anything other than turkeys, please? What cruel, terrible horrors were set forth to manifest such a beast? I don't know. I don't know, but hopefully it can... So hopefully I can summon something actually fucking useful, because so far, this shit has not been useful. Alright, Tribal King. See, I want to get as many, like, leadership units as I can, so that way when I inevitably die, repeat, hunt for slaves every single month. Size of an ibis. Aren't ibises like a big-ass chicken? Or like a... not an osprey. What's that thing? We have them here. Not pelicans, but, why am I blanking on the name? I literally live where there are dozens of them, like, every single day. I'm losing it. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. Holy shit, Sky Demon. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, Atil. You are in charge of all of my armies now. Alright, homie. His stat block is so large that I have to scroll down to actually see it all. That is insane. No, not an ostrich. It's smaller than that. It's the white birds that live around here. They're like, they eat stuff in the water and they have long beaks. Heron. That's what it is. A heron. That was what it was. I was like, oh yeah, it's a heron. They're like a big heron. Not seagull. Heron. Heron, like the sword from the Wheel of Time. A heron-marked sword. Dumbass book. I'm kidding. It's okay. I'm just not a big fan. Yeah, I can't even say that because I am actively reading them. So who knows? Maybe I will become a big fan, given enough time. All right, come on, guys. It's time for Sky God. Oh, you have a few that live locally? That's wild. Wow, that didn't work at all. All right, well. Let's see if Atil can actually do the job. I think he can, but I've been confident in worse things. You live in a swamp? What was I saying about Australia and having, you know, death via... Holy shit! That is a triple-powered succubus. Jesus. Alright, Atil. Dude, you better have some... Oh, wait, no. You better have some wild magic. Okay, yeah, he has... Bro, he has hella magic. Okay, bro. Come on. God. These are giant bats. Cool. Works. Dude, these demons are wild. Oh, and the demonologist. That's kind of not good, actually. Alright, come on, bro. I know you got this. Yeah! Give him the magic, bro. Give him the magic. Aren't the most habitable areas in Australia wetlands because they're all you should remember that, because most of it is totally uninhabitable by, like, regular humans. Damn. Or not uninhabitable, but, like, inhabitable by, like, 3 people per every couple of miles. It just has no ability to support a large population. So yeah, it's the lower eastern side that has all the people, and then Sydney is like the one big city in the north. Isn't that what it is? Or is it reversed? Which one is Sydney and which one has Melbourne? Is it Melbourne south and Sydney's in the north? I don't know my geography of Australia all that well, because I haven't visited. I had a friend who visited, and they loved it. They thought it was great. So maybe I will visit one day. That'd be nice. Maybe actually it would be kind of cool to visit Australia. Mostly because you guys are pretty alright. And also because you kind of speak a similar language to Americans, unlike other European countries. They're both south. Fuck. Do you have any... Victoria? Okay, who wants to play monkeys? Monkey. Victoria? I assume you mean Victoria. Let me check? Bro, it's your own country! What do you mean, let me check? Also, yes, the music does change to monkey music when you play the monkey faction. God, I love this game. Get 'em, monkeys! Bro, about to check his own country's stats. It's fine. I couldn't tell you where Albuquerque, New Mexico is. What is it? 375 Arroyo Vista Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So busy these days. Don't even have time to talk about Albuquerque, New Mexico. Alright. Forgot how wild the options are for this faction. It's like everything is monkey flavored. Just pure monkey power. Melbourne is Victoria. So are they the same city, or is one of them a state and a city? Because I thought Victoria was like its own province. Or is that a city? Or is it in Victoria? We're asking the hard-hitting questions here. Truly. Here's a good question. Can I afford to kill these ogres? Yeah, Victoria. Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, Victoria's a state, right? Yeah. Or do you guys call them states, right? Not provinces or anything cringe like that. So Melbourne is the capital of Victoria. Huh. Here's a question, just to prove that you're an Australian. Not that I doubt you. I'm just being funny. To prove that you're an Australian, what's the local football teams for Australia? Name one. I don't know any, so I don't know how I'm gonna be able to assume your guess is correct. But I'll believe you if you say it loudly and proudly enough. Also, I love how the only difference between a standard Varna soldier and the captain is just a little tip to his hat. Miltas? Mildtas? Mildtas? I'm not a sports guy either. I'm just shooting the shit, man. I have very little sports knowledge overall. And my knowledge of soccer, or as you call it, football, is very I can't spell. It's okay, man. Believe me, I've misspelled the names and titles in my own videos, so trust me, we on the same level here. No question. I am incredibly brain dead. If I was in the hospital, they would take me off life support 100%. 100%. Alright. See, here's where I now have to make an important monkey decision. I must decide whether I want to engage with my monkey enemies at a distance, or if I would like to let my pure monkey power defeat them up close. Jesus! God damn, I got good archers, holy shit. Matilda. Oh, yes, I have actually heard of them because they had a good season like 5 years ago when I was looking at sports. Also, by the way, just a thing, because I keep getting conflicting messages about this from various Australian like publications and people. What the hell is going on with like that one dude who like covers himself in iron plate? Ned Kelly, that was it. What the hell is the Ned Kelly story? Because I see like some people say that he's a hero, some people say that he's just like this monstrous criminal. What is like the general vibe of Ned Kelly in Australia anymore? Because somebody recently made like a travel thing with Ned Kelly on the front of it. He's contentious. Ooh. Well, don't let me get involved in controversy in a country I literally don't even live in. But yeah, I noticed that. I was like, damn, nobody can like give me a straight on answer on who the hell this guy is and why some people love him and some people hate him. I mean, I know the story, obviously. He's kind of like your guys' Billy the Kid, basically. Which, I mean, makes sense. Billy the Kid is also contentious as hell. That is a very scary psalm bitch. So if you're from some areas, he's a hero, and then if you're from some areas, he's like a monstrous villain. Man, that's wild. Nerd. Spell demon Damon all the time. Hey, I spell demon like that because that's how the books say it should be spelled. Damon. 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 Softened to him? Not sure if you meant to say softened. Softened, but I will take you at your word. Perhaps you have just softened to him. What the mirrors actually do. Okay, they're like the big thing that allows me to keep magic around. Alright. Kill Giles Mantis. Yeah, because again, like Billy the Kid, it's the whole idea of like a criminal with a heart of gold. Or just like a criminal who wasn't mean to, or who wasn't evil to evil, or wasn't evil to good people, like didn't take advantage of people, but who was at least like conscientious, or at least well-liked. Like, yeah. Because wasn't he like a criminal from like a young age? His parents were in like deep debt, and I remember him having to commit crimes to like feed his mom or something like that. He had some sort of what do they call it? A sympathetic backstory. There we go. That was the big thing that I noticed. Like, some people were saying, oh, he's a horrible, monstrous criminal, and they're like, oh, he had to because his mom and whatever it was. Adeptus. There's an Adeptus Ridiculous video on him? Oh, goddamn. Goddamn. I will have to look at that, because I am not a huge fan of Adeptus Ridiculous, because, you know, competition. I'm kidding. I'm really not a fan of them because, or, sorry, I shouldn't say I'm really not a fan of them. I'm just not as big a fan of them as I should. Maybe we should try that? What do you mean, try that? Try what exactly? I don't think there's any criminal activity related to Ned Kelly that we need to try, my friend. Oh, if you're talking about for corrupt contenders, yes, somebody should play a Ned Kelly equivalent, 100%. Just like a Keller morph, you just pretend to be a good guy. Because TBH, love me Keller morph. I will 100% simp for anyone who's playing a Keller morph equivalent. Because I love them. You know, you guys out here simping for the Magus and her bald, high-collar, mage-looking arse, and me out here loving that Keller morph style. Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, who can hate a man who goes out wearing, like, boilerplate iron armor like a medieval knight with a bunch of... He had a shotgun and a pistol, fired his shotgun off twice, and then basically just went crazy and unloaded 2 pistols on, what, a group of, like, 20 policemen? Or not policemen, like Mounties or bounty hunters at the time. But yeah, honestly, the image of him, the image of Ned Kelly's death, well, you know, he gets killed by someone basically blowing his legs off with a shotgun. The image of Ned Kelly's death is kind of like early Space Marine art, in my mind. Because it's that idea of, like, he's just standing there. What is the stupid quote from Andrew Tate? It's, imagine shooting a man with your last bullet, and he stands there, unfazed. And that's the energy I get from the Ned Kelly thing. Yeah, he was hanged, but didn't he also, like, get his legs blown off by a shotgun? Because his legs weren't armored, and that was, like, the one part of him that wasn't protected. At least that's what I remember. Might have been hanged after that. Plenty of people get shot in the legs. Though your legs do have a lot of these squishy things called arteries that you really don't want to get penetrated. Yeah, the only way they were stopping him, other than, I don't know, maybe going around behind him, because he had less protection on his... Also, I think the most interesting thing is he was the only one who was actually able to get to his armor, but there were other sets of armor for the rest of the gang. So theoretically, it could have been a way, way worse fight. Because the rest of the gang did have their own suits of armor, or there was at least one other dude. Was it his brother who also had a set of armor? But yeah, either way, there was more sets that they could have theoretically had, but there was something keeping them from getting it. His brother got shot in the neck. Oh, Jesus. Oh wait, yeah, because they wouldn't come out of their, like, hidey hole. Or the, what was it, like an inn or a public house that they were hiding in. And they refused to come out because they knew they were going to be executed. So they just stayed in there and they lit the house on fire. They all had armor? Goddamn. See, that's even cooler. Well, cooler in messed up. Criminal kind of way, but still. Okay, this is just a magic off. Boys, can we get together and use something that does damage? This is literally just... Wizard battle! Everyone use cantrip! This is just the same battle nonsense. Dude, do you have any damage spells? No, not at all. Okay, well, let's see how long this works. Okay, apparently not long at all. Alright, well, let's go with small, random, enable common, and let's do Dwarf Queen. I hate dwarves, but let's do it. They're going to massacre the police in the area and release criminals. Oh, yeah. No, wasn't that their whole idea? They were trying to break people out of jail? Or at least that was how I understood it. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I do not need Lore of Davlin. Never mock an open field wizard battle. I will not mock an open field wizard battle. However, I will absolutely... Are you immobile? Can you not move? That is dumb as hell. Do I have to un everything you? Bro, how the fuck is going on? Okay, well, whatever it is, I'm sure it'll fix it. Eureka Stock Aid? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Oh, Stockade. It's spelled a little bit differently. Yeah, see, Famous Rebellion, unfortunately in the States, we got a whole lot of those, so you kind of gotta narrow it down for us. Like our Alamo. See, I say that, but you know the Alamo, so maybe I should just hold my fucking breath. Because you guys know more than we do. I am a history guy, and I still don't know that. But then again, you guys are just as young of a nation as us. Also, Alamo is a very strong word. I hope you're using that appropriately, because that is a very strong word. Outdoor dwarfs. Is that opposed from indoor dwarfs? I'm gonna assume yes, and not buy them, because I don't like dwarfs. Palms. Palms? I assume that is a slang for police and or strike breakers. Would that be accurate? Palms. Come on, dwarves. Kill that knight. Brits. Do you call them palms because of their stupid little hats? Do you call them palms because of the stupid hats? Because I 100% agree with that. I am absolutely on board. The British are... How do I say this gently? The British have very stupid headgear on occasion throughout history. Also, holy shit, do I just get to spawn more units based on how much metal I have? That is BS. No wonder the dwarves are so cringily hard to get rid of. They literally just get more units based on how many hats they have. Or based on how many... cringe. Massively cringe. Alright. The bits are silly? Alright, well, I will take your word for it. Short for pommy? That is strange. That almost sounds French. Well, I say, sounds French. It sounds like a lot of different things. It sounds like the word French fries in German as well, but that doesn't mean it's German. I don't speak German neither. I do speak German. That's an incorrect statement. Now I'm actively rambling, so once this is done, we 100% have to give it up because I am rambling. We have mixed feelings about the Brits. I would imagine we too in America have mixed feelings about the British. Would you like to... and the Yanks. See, here's the thing. Unlike the British, you and I have fellow enemies in the world, whereas the British, they just have former enemies and now very uncomfortable friends who don't like to share rooms with them. That's what I think the difference is. I can understand you guys not liking us. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Same with not liking the British, because, let's be honest, how many people actually do like the British? Like, personally, especially now. They have a lot going on. Yeah. One big dysfunctional family. I would agree. I would 100% agree. Okay, so we're gonna grab everything here, and that should give us some nice Monet. Arthur. I have a plan, Arthur. I hope that's what you're referencing, otherwise it's something else entirely. Oh, it's oh no. Knights are cringe. Knights are mega cringe. Mega cringe, mega cringe. Massively cringe. I hate you. I hate knights. Alright, I need some dwarves. Lots of dwarves. Hella dwarves. Alright, let's see. Got a little quartet of dwarves here. Wish I had some, like, I could get more things with money, because metal is kind of hard to come by, apparently. I can just buy more commanders, that works. I guess. Oh my god. Okay. Kiwis are the kids. Okay, Kiwis are your guys' name for New Zealanders, right? Do I have that down? And the New Zealanders don't mind you actually calling them that? I mean, I'm just asking. 'Cause I don't know. I don't know if we consider ourselves your big brothers. They don't like it when you say that. Yeah, but you say it anyway. Or Hobbit. Okay, I understand Hobbit. That's a reference to a nice piece of cinema. That I can get behind. I can get behind the idea of Hobbit. However, yes, I would understand why they don't like that as a term. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure how they... Oh, they like it? Okay, good. Good. I will remember next time that I'm at a bar in that side of the world to call a gentleman who identifies himself as a New Zealander a Kiwi, and hopefully your advice will not get me brutally assaulted by said gentleman. Though admittedly, if I am in that part of the world, I will most likely be so intoxicated that I will be far beyond any level of etiquette. They'll let me know. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Aren't your people also incredibly famous for, I don't know, starting, like, bar fights and stuff? Like, I know the classic thing for Americans is, like, we fight all the time. But don't Australians, like, enjoy actual scrapping? We all drink like fish? Yeah, my friend who went to Australia was like, I drank myself into, like, a coma. And I didn't even want to drink afterward. And the Australians were doing it, like, every night. We had a whiskey rebellion, so I can understand the rum thing. And our whiskey rebellion was, colorful, let's say. I would describe it as nearing psychotic. Getting there, for sure, in terms of, is she not allowed to move? That is so dumb. Can I just not move? Okay, so she spawns a new queen, and, okay, mountain move. She literally can't move. Yeah, she's stationary. God, that's dumb. Why? Why would that be the way that is? Battle of Brisbane and Melbourne? Damn, bro. You got hella history. Good for you. Also, by the way, the thing about you guys all being, like, from a history of, like, criminals in Australia, how much of that history is, like, actually legit, and how much of it is, like, exaggerated for effect? Because I've always wondered this, because, you know, people talk about Australians, they're like, oh yeah, they're all the descendants of violent criminals. I'm like, you're a British prison colony. That's not violent criminals. That's like regular people most of the time. Because the British will imprison you for goddamn everything. About 20%. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it cannot possibly be everyone. It can't be, because that, well, quite frankly, that would make your society a lot less organized than it currently is. And you are very well organized. You know, not German or anything, but you get there pretty good. And you know, you guys have your own wild way of doing business. I've seen a lot of the economics on Australia. It's a lot of cattle and mining, which, as an American, hella support for that. Love cattle and mining. Definitely up there in terms of things that I can approve economically. Yeah, exactly. Like, that was what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way that you have an entire British, especially a British settlement. I'm like, there's no way the British would let the... Yeah. See, the mining hasn't died off for you guys yet. You're still in that, like, we can use our natural resources without feeling bad about it stage. Which is the right thing to do. I am absolutely on board with that idea. Okay, that is a lot of free units I just got. Hell yeah. Alright, Pikeman, let's go. I love a sunbird colony. I've heard it in song form, but I did not know it started out as a poem. Or, sorry, Sunbird Country. Yeah. Like I said, I've heard it in a song, I think because I was listening to some aforementioned Kiwis singing it during an Arma operation on YouTube. But yes, I have heard of that. I did not know it was a poem, though. Hey, bye, guy who hated here and didn't want to be here at all. Has it now, like many of our hatred songs, become an important part of culture and mentality? Because that seems to always be the way. Once you get one dude who's willing to codify everyone's upset and distress, it will often become a rallying cry for the rest of us. Kinda? Yeah, it works for me. I will stick with my theory then. Yes, I have. Speaking of which, do you think it would be a good idea to review the actual Astartes original video? Because I had a lot to say about it when it first came out. And a lot of complaints about it, really. That might be the next stream that we do. Oh, by the way, hi, Gun Tuna. You know, I really want to tell you, my man. I have to say, every time that I open my phone, and I see a message from you that says Gun Tuna commented on your video, I just get this rush of insane excitement because I know I'm about to have a very mentally stimulating conversation about something that I wasn't considering in life. And I want to say thank you very much for that because it's been such a pleasure to do. And like, it's every time it's like, huh, you're right, I did leave that out, let me add that in, or like, I wish I could pin every one of our conversations, but it would get kind of ridiculous at a certain point. But it really is crazy how much that you helped me out with this. Shared opinion, our autumn sucks. Again, you live in hell. A hell zone, but you know, I won't knock you. You're living in it. That's the other thing. You're living in it. I have no right, as someone who also lives in a very hot place, often similar to hell, to make any comments about it. Autumn. You're forgetting the N in autumn. Unless you just pronounce it that way in your country, in which case, more power to you. Is your autumn also storms? Because ours is just hella storms all the time. It's fucking windy as hell. Oh, shoot! Well, yeah, you say that's all, but dude, you actually have, like, two things that 90% of Warhammer players don't have. You have an actual interest in conversing with people at their level, and you're not afraid to be like, yeah, no, I don't agree with that, or yeah, I do agree with that, I changed my mind. Like, when have you ever heard of Warhammer players who actually had a bone to pick with a creator or lore or anything else do that? I can tell you that, to my knowledge, I've never seen it with my own eyes outside of you, my dude. Like, don't sell yourself short. That shit is awesome. And you should be fucking proud of it. Because you are beyond rare in that effect. You know, I get a lot of nice comments all the time, but I can always count on you to essentially help me out when I fuck up. Or help me illustrate something that I didn't make clear. Because I always know that if you didn't notice it, or if you wanted more clarity on it, someone else will. And that's my point. That's why I do it. That's why I go into it so deep, because I want to make sure that, you know, if Guntuna didn't get it, everybody gonna get it. And that includes, you know, when we disagree. If I make a point that is total bullshit, and you think it's BS, and you think that I should, you know, be better and have better words and function in my brain, perfectly reasonable time to call me out and say, hey, bro, that's dumb as fuck. Quite often, I'm gonna agree with you. And then sometimes I will have a reason, and I like to share that as well. It's very important to me that I ensure that everyone is aware of what I'm saying. What is your anthem? Oh my god, I never actually realized. I don't know what the Aussie anthem is. Is it, I mean, is it something like actually patriotic, or is it something else? I mean, not that I don't think anything that you did would be patriotic or nothing, I'm just saying, like, sometimes, I've heard your songs that you sing in, for example, bars. So, it's not great. Beer. I don't think that beer is included within their national anthem, unless I'm very wrong about their culture. They are party people, but I don't think that they wear it on their sleeve as much as perhaps we Americans do. You know, in private, perhaps, or rather in personal life, but I think that they at least attempt to be more professional out to the rest of the world. At least that has been my impression from watching your politicians speak, because I do actually do that quite a bit. You know, it's kind of wild how often I watch Australian politicians talk, because when I do politics research, it's almost always Australia. Australia or Germany, because I focus on them because they're the ones who have the most mobility politically. Like, France is fucking dysfunctional, and I would not want to understand their political system, because it's literally, like, agreed upon that it's one of the most dysfunctional systems in Europe. Germany's is semi-dysfunctional, but it's at least entertaining. Like, the German political system has offered me relentless entertainment over the last 8 years. Yes, we all mock the French. It's an unfortunate thing. I have that 1% of French blood in me because I am an American and I am a mutt. But we do mock the French. We do mock the French. 100%. And here's the other thing. What I was really interested to find out, because, you know, I looked through the analytics of my channel and everything, I found out where most of my viewers come from. And I was like, okay, America, the UK, Brazil, and then the next one is like Portugal or the Philippines. And I was like, who the fuck is watching me in the Philippines? And it wasn't like an insanely small percentage either. It was like 11%. And I was like, Jesus, where are you guys coming from? But no French. Basically no Frenchmen watch me. Which, I don't know how to feel about that. Do the French not like me? Or do I not speak French, so they don't want to watch my channel? I don't know. Either way, strong dub. Strong W for that. Sometimes get so involved in our individual factions that we forget the others. Correct. What revolution are they up to now? I believe it's 8th. Within this last, like, 2 centuries. At least that's what I remember from my historical research of the French. It's from the Philippines, is it Giga Chad? Oh, yeah, one of the artists, the one who is doing my art for Edge of Night, is, I think, from the Philippines. At least I paid him in Filipino money, I believe. Oh, and by the way, when that art comes out, I already have some sketches, but when that art comes out, not only will I post it to the channel, I will also do a full breakdown of all the, like, steps and processes and versions of the art that I looked at, because I really, really want you guys to see all the effort that went into this and kind of I want to give a nice little shout out to all of the artists who have really helped us out on this, because let's be honest, none of them had to take this commission, and yeah, I was willing to absolutely bank them on it, but it was also like a very unclear thing of what I wanted and whether or not they would be able to actually do it, and I gave them the options for the commissions. What are you? Oh, God for the Black Hawk. I'm gonna kill you with ballistas. Yeah, ballistas. Iron Harvest and Zek Max and commissions. Hey, there you go. See, it's nice. It's nice to get buddies who are very talented with the hobby. I'll be honest, because I think some of you have found my Instagram by now. Unfortunately, you scary gentlemen, you guys work quick. I had to go and sterilize it. But one of the things that I think everyone will know about me from that is that I'm not very good at the hobby. And a lot of my stuff with the hobby that has been like public for a while, it's really bad, to the point where like no one would really care about it. You know, reasonably, I'm not salty about it. It makes good sense. But having a friend who's really good at the hobby, especially the artist side of it, is absolutely crazy useful. Like, somebody who can not only tell you how shit is supposed to work, but actually show you so you don't have to, like, sit through boring art tutorials or do any stupid, like, paying for art classes or anything. It's a massive advantage. And honestly, it's been super helpful to me, as someone who, like, both didn't know what the hell he was doing and didn't really have the money for any professional art stuff, that I was basically doing handwork for all of it. And it was helpful for me to have friends who, like, hey, we have this thing, or this blow tube, or this special piece of kit that we can use for the armies. And it was really great. I had a good time with that. Let me see. Ballistas. Ballistas are hella useful, honestly. Alright. Garm, my friend, you can take this. Link my home address? I doubt you can. But even if you did, you would get the wrong one. Because not only is my address not on there, but it would be an address from many, many years ago. So, good luck. Better luck next time, my friends. Also, I sterilized most of it, so it shouldn't be in any way objectionable. And hey, really the only reason I did it was so that I could communicate with you guys better, because communicating with you via streams and via comments is fine and all, but I am a creator, and I feel like the most important thing about being a creator, and especially in the area where I create, is communication. And having a more direct line of communication with people, you know, whether it be something that I want to do or something that is just going to happen eventually anyway, because, you know, one day I'll make a Discord. One day I'll have all these organizations that will help me to communicate better and to have more information. One day I'll have a Dropbox email where you can send me personal, you know, information, or not information, but you can send me personal, like, messages and requests for things, or opinions, or details, or whatever you want. And on that day, it won't really matter anymore. Swordsman. Alright, Egil, my boy. Hella dwarves. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, you can't have those boxes of untouched sprue, man. It's a shame upon your family. Speaking of which, haven't you gotten your posts done yet, bro? Myself, have gotten a ton of homework done before I even started this stream. And before I get the video up, I will continue with that homework. You have been saying that you have homework all week, and that you were busy, and you couldn't do nothing. And now, you're you're here. So I'm a little curious about why. Why? You're almost done with physics shenanigans? Yeah. Yap away, physics man. What are you even, a physics major? Some sort of physician? Physician? Fishman? Fucking fishman? I do believe you're a fishman. That's my new insult for the fishman. Oh, also, Australian folk. Bone Man, my homie. Do you have Greggs in Australia? I do not know what this chain is. Almost finished up some Warhammer proxies. Nice. We love proxy. Fuck GW bombs. Proxies all day. You have Greggs? Yeah, Greggs. Like the little chain restaurant. Not restaurant, like the chain. In the US, this would be a gas station. In Australia, I guess it's like Mini Mart. Kind of how Japan has like Mini Mart. Begging to be fully painted. And it will take you several years to even attempt to get 30 Mechanicus models painted, my friend. I am sorry that God has given upon you such a heavy burden. But the Machine God is way more demanding than Chaos God, so maybe you should look into worshipping them instead of the Machine God. Just saying. We have cookies. No dwarf workers available. Disagree. Maybe South? You never seen them in Queensland? Huh. See, because, like, the British people, they fucking love that shit. And I was wondering if Australia did too, but I guess not. Maybe it's just a Britain thing. There are a lot of things, admittedly, that are just a Britain thing, including our entire, like, I should say that just a Britain thing, as in like all of the offices and all of the official shit is in the UK. You know, because so many people just love traveling to the UK. It's a lovely vacation spot, right, guys? Wink, wink. I don't have anything against it. It's just well, congratulations. You're speaking for the whole nation now. I am picking up the entirety of my knowledge on Australia just based on exactly what you said. There is nothing. You are now an official ambassador from Australia to the United fucking States, which also makes me an ambassador to your country, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know if that would be allowed. Perhaps. WA. May I ask where that would be? Or what WA stands for, rather. White Alice. Wexford A. 70 Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy Dark Angels. Dark Angels mentioned, pain ensues. West Australia, I assume, instead of West Austria. West Austria would be a very, very different location. I mean, your elder brother could live quite a distance away if he was in West Austria. Also, West Austria is just like the Alps. That's just like the coldest, shittiest part of Austria. Well, I shouldn't say shitty. It's the most beautiful and yet the least livable portion of Austria. But in Australia, your western side is mostly desert, isn't it? New Pale? See, that sounds British as fuck right there. Right, kill all these bears. We kill hella bears today. Bear. Alright, what do we got here? Scouts and brigands, easy enough to take care of. So I wonder if there's any actual decent so I haven't seen shit yet. Gurkhas? Oh, Gurkhas! Those dudes with the big ass knives. Them I have heard of. I mean, for obvious reasons. They're important historical figures. Of course I know who they are. Night? Brother, you're gonna have to add a pronunciation guide for that shit. Nigal? Nipal? Nipal? See, the only thing I know about the Gurkhas is that they take people's hands off with big knives, and as a result, I approve of them. However, that is pretty much the extent of my knowledge. I know that they're kind of like the Anzacs, and that they work like as pseudo colonial mercenaries for the British Army. Yes, the colonials. Not in a derogatory sense, I'm just using the British accent because I like making fun of them. I assume mining or cattle ranching, one of those two, because those are the only things that I can imagine drying up in Australia, other than, like, water. Boom, bang, ba-da-ba-bow. That is a decent-sized army. Deers. Lord knows we hate some deers. See, Raptor goes real quiet, because he knows damn well that if he keeps yapping and refuses to obey my orders, I will obliterate his entire cult from the game. And his cult is not even in the game because he's playing as a DM right now. So, in equal terms, I will obliterate his life force and breathe it through him by making horrible RP for several days. That's my only threat that I can have for him, because he's doing so well. Start a fight with him to bring up Churchill. Not a fan of those. Yeah, no, I remember that. I do remember Churchill's, like, biggest detractors were in some of the later colonies, because he basically was like, yeah, we're not giving any of you an inch of fucking independence while the war is on. And in his mind, the war never stops. So, the man had, like, his sticky, whiskey-flavored fingers all over everything in Australia and India as well. Counterpoint. Also, let's be honest, if you want to talk about, like, a massive stick-in-the-mud British officials, let's go a little bit further back to Lord North. Yeah, if you want to do the Rodney thing, oh, bro, if you want to do the Rodney thing, I actually have a really solid plan for that. If you want to make it so that Vakeem ends up being, like, in front of or in between Rodney and me, I think that would be a really cool thing. Like, Rodney sends a little squadron to check out what the hell is going on Gura, and then Vakeem basically gets stuck in the middle. Or he's in a position to defend us, and we offer him magistership in exchange. That was something that occurred to me. Oh, there's an evil Duvala here, another woman in my game. Time for her to cease existing. Pretty much expendable. Look up the Brisbane line. I mean, brother, that's just like Anzac troops in general. That's how, like, as far as I know, that's just how the British saw them. The French are the worst, because the French literally used North African troops as pretty much exactly one-to-one cannon fodder. But the British are just as bad for that in a lot of situations. I mean, Gallipoli was just shittily designed as a military unit. I'm not even going to blame Churchill for that. Well, I will blame Churchill for that, but not for treating them like shit. I'll just say that that was a poorly designed mission that he then sent people that he didn't care about. So, secondary issue there. 40k ships or naval combat video? Oh yeah, 100%. So, when I did that poll, I mentioned that Navy would be part of that new series that was getting started. And I wasn't lying. Navy will be the first thing that we focus on. So, yes. Yeah, wasn't he the general in charge? Or whatever British officer rank he fucking was at the time. Wasn't he the dude in charge? And that was why it was, like, pointed to him as a massive fuck-up? That's what I remember. Also, bro tried to land in, like, Turkey. Why? Like, tactically fucking why, man. It's not really that great of an idea. But yeah, in response to you, Tuna, yes, Navy is literally not only on the list, it is up soon. And we'll be talking about all kinds of shit, so don't worry, I'll break it down. If you didn't know, fun fact, I straight up made a Navy tabletop game, which is now a function of Corrupt Contenders. All of the naval combat works off of this game that I made that is essentially an attempt to reboot a version of Battlefleet Gothic, the tabletop game. It's called Battlefleet Solar. And it basically allows you to play any ships, any stats, any size on a tabletop game. And it's got dice, it's a fully fleshed out system. But now it's kind of been overhauled so that it fits into the Corrupt Contenders system. Which is fun, I like it. It's a good game, just in general, on top of being part of Corrupt Contenders. But yes, I am well acquainted with Navy, and I love it a lot. So do not worry, you will receive your just love. Yes, Raptor actually did help me make that game. Well, help me demo the various versions of it, and also helped with a lot of the rules, and he helped transcribe a lot of the rules, so you can thank him as well for that system. So, the Mechanicus ships, the ones that are not just a copy of Imperial ships, are in the game, but, important but, they are not, I don't think they have stats just yet, but they will get stats soon. I think, at some point. But yeah, don't worry. The Arch Mechanicus, which, by the way, Arch Mechanicus, the ones that I'm using as a reference are probably not the ones that you're thinking of. I'm thinking much more of things that are essentially like Manufactorum ships. Similar to that. But yeah, we're still working on some of the stuff, like we're working on rules for the Dark Eldar, we're working on rules for a lot of stuff. Throw a sun at the enemy, like in the Bardock sector. Well, Nova Cannons are in the game, and they're pretty damn good, as far as, like, being the longest range weapons in the game, and being able to strip lots of void shields and do lots of damage. They can't one-shot escort craft like they can in the lore, but if an escort craft has its shields down, yes, it can basically one-shot them, or put them right next to critical damage, and then any extra damage can pretty much kill them. So it can come close. No, you cannot throw a sun at the enemy. However, we do have gravity slinging in the game. That is a thing that you can do. You can use the momentum of a solar or stellar body to essentially accelerate yourself and make a heavier ship move faster because of gravity. We can gravity sling. It's a fun thing. Also, Necrons have not got rules yet, because our focus was just trying to get every Imperial ship to have rules and stats. And believe me, that was hard enough already. Yeah. Also, once we get here, I'm gonna end off the stream because it has been enough time for you guys to get what you needed to out of it. I hope. We're not done just yet, but we will be done soon. Yeah, we got Devala there. We got some Necron ships down? I don't think we did, bro. We got, I mean, I'm still waiting on some stuff to get transferred over from the original dock, but I also remember we, like, started off the Dark Eldar ships, and we didn't really finish, and we especially didn't finish the weapons. Yeah, so we haven't ported over all the stuff that we made just yet. V3. Badab. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of weapons that can, quote-unquote, throw a sun at the enemy. Yes, I know, the Arch Mechanicus is a different thing. Believe me, I know. But, can I actually, Guntuna, while you're here, and while we're talking about the Arch Mechanicus, can I pitch you an idea? Because it's one that I want to coin, like the Hive Rocks, as being part of 40k, but like I don't see it anywhere. So can I pitch you an idea here? Because it's about the Mechanicus, and more specifically about the Dark Mechanicus. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. I love that song, and I say I wanna listen to that band in a bit once I'm done. Do do do. This is the advantage of having all these bullets that I can basically annihilate like a quarter. And hopefully I can kill the Devala. There's the Devala dead. We win this 100%. I'd love to run that by again. Okay, so here's the idea. A lot of the mechanical ships are literally just like slightly modified versions of battle cruisers, and they usually just take them straight from the Navy and then modify them themselves. You know, they'll have essentially an add-on, and usually it's just like their iconography, their colors. And I'm not saying that they do this like ad hoc at times of war, though they can do that as well. Most of the time it's just like, hey, can we like buy a battle cruiser with all the extra tide that we've made this year? That's fine. That's the big thing for the AdMech, is a lot of their ships and stuff, they just kind of buy them from the Navy, or on occasion they will manage to get them on loan or on cheap from the Navy, and then they will modify them themselves into quote-unquote mechanicus unique vessels. But there's 4 classes of ships that I'd like to pitch to you. One is the true Arch Mechanicus, the really big one, the battleship, or super battleship, depending on the version. Again, the Speranza is not an example of like a standard version of this. I'm talking standard one, where you basically take something akin to a Apocalypse class battleship, and you modify it a little bit, because honestly the Apocalypse is already built out like the AdMech has it, and then they put in STC tech and storage space and things so that they can have a more effective ship while maintaining a lot of their Mechanicus security and shit like that. So that's the big one. The other one, the one that I kind of want to pitch to you, is an idea that I've had. Now, the Mechanicus do have smaller forge ships. They're the ones that support Imperial Crusades and make stuff like shells and extra pieces. You know, like a cog for a gun, or a random piece of technology or something that they need, wiring, whatever. They have kind of like a built-in, like an automatic machine shop or an automatic mini factory. And those are canon, those are legit. But I want to pioneer this idea of a Chaos version of that, which is essentially a cruiser, but you've stripped out all of the internals, and you've replaced it with essentially a mobile factory. So it doesn't have all the fancy stuff that a true forge ship does. You know, not an Arch Mechanicus, but a forge ship, like a cruiser-sized Adeptus Mechanicus ship. But for the Dark Mechanicum, they essentially shove an entire factory, like raw material to final thing, into a ship, and it's like cruiser-sized or light cruiser-sized. I want to hear your opinions or your thoughts on that, because that's a big thing that I want to be like, that is a legit thing that the Dark Mech would have, because it would act as both a representation of what their forge can do. Like, look at us, we can make bolters and bolt ammunition on the move to support your warband or your little Black Crusade or whatever it is. But also, it's a much more heavily armed version of like those light production transports that the Mechanicus have. You know, those Goliath heavy transport things that transport just like raw materials, and it can make a bunch of stuff. So it's like a worse version of that, or a slightly better version of their like freighter craft. I wanna demo that idea with you. Kind of this Dark Mechanicus factory ship instead of like a true forge vessel or a forge ship. So it doesn't have any of the like fancy STC tech. It's just like a big old factory, you know, standard factory clapped into a ship. Sorry. Helisculpture is the thing the Guard and Planetary Defense use. Helicopters. Jesus Christ. I was like, what the fuck is a helochopter? Helicopters really aren't a thing in 40k. I mean, like, they probably should be, and for a Planetary Defense Force, I wouldn't put it beyond them. It would definitely have to be a planet like Fantine that has a reason to make aircraft. Fantine have a long tradition of making aircraft, so yeah, if you had a planet like that, I think that making a helicopter, a basic one like a UH-1Y, would be unreasonable. Reaver Titan with the Forge Master. Not exactly sure what the end of that sentence meant, but yeah, Reaver Titans. I mean, if I'm being honest, almost every Legion has to be attached to a Dark Mechanicus Forge world. Every Titan Legion, because unlike Knights that could theoretically get assistance from other forces, there's no fucking chance that an actual Titan Legio has anywhere near the, like, maintenance requirements that a Knight Lance has. A Legion... Oh, the Titan itself was a Forge Master? Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, wild, but reasonable. Like, you can have Tech Priests who take over a Titan. That has happened. We have Moderati, who are essentially in charge of a Titan more than the actual Princeps is. For example, Gearhart, when he's in a fucking coma, the Moderati are still going into combat using his Warlord or Emperor class, I think it's an Emperor class Titan. And they're essentially just kind of manhandling the controls. So they're not in perfect control, but they are in charge of it. So if a Tech Priest was so bold as to decide, mayhaps I would like to become the leader of my forge by jumping into a Reaver and being a badass, I think that's not unreasonable. It would definitely limit the amount of actual, like, moving about and control shit that he would manage to do, but, yeah. I mean, a little smaller than a Gloriana, that is Apocalypse class, dude. Apocalypse class, any battleship is fucking huge, but the Apocalypse classes are also, you know, they have a lot more space because they're using entirely energy weapons, so they don't need to house any ammunition. That was my reasoning for how big it is, but yeah, battleships. Yeah, the regular AdMech, they have them. They have these legit, like, factory ships where they can do a lot of different things in one ship. What I'm really asking you is, would it be reasonable, in your opinion, for the Dark Mechanicus to essentially have a cheap discount version of that didn't use any STC tech, didn't use any of the complex programming, and was just kind of a brute force shoving a factory into a cruiser hull? Because I think that's a really solid plan for them to be like, hey, look, we can also support you mobily. I always look at the Mechanicus and the Dark Mechanicus like a business, because it is, but that's one of the big things with me is, like, the Dark Mechanicus, they need a lot of patrons, so to speak, in order to keep their industry running. So I think that having their, like, Forge representatives or, like, a major priest or something go out into the 41st Millennium with a cruiser and a couple of escorts and, like, some heavy freighters or something, and that constituting the Forge's, like, you know, far away team would be pretty reasonable. Because, you know, having the Dark Mechanicus essentially show up in just heavy freighters and the occasional actual warship, that seems a little bit shit to me, to be honest. So I'd like to pioneer that kind of mid-weight class. Do you think the Dark AdMech and the normal AdMech ever talk? Yes, they do. They swear at each other. A lot. Like, an unbelievable amount of cursing. It's not very politically correct. They don't like each other, and they're aware that they don't like each other, and they wish that each other would die. More often than not, that is the interaction. The AdMech are more proper. Brother, when you live in the warp and your brain is full of mechanics, you ain't gonna be talking proper for much longer anyway. Also, throwing shade at the Dark AdMech, they're literally the Dark AdMech, bro. How much more shade could you possibly throw on them than giving them the most evil fucking name in 40k? All the shade, all the time. What is it? Revenge for Mars? Is that the dumbass thing? So hilarious. The AdMech are just like the ultimate petty. They are dope. Yeah, I mean, they're both dope. I am a big fan of both. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the best lore guy to ask about either of them, but I am not an enemy of either faction. Matter of fact, I like the Dark AdMech a lot. Oh yeah, easily. Gork and Orc don't exist. The Orcs literally just believe that they do because they do not have the ability to, like, understand the concept of corn, because their brains are pretty much lobotomized from birth. So this is my reasoning, essentially. Khorne, yes, those are battle moves, 100% correct. Khorne, as a concept, is an idea that the orcs cannot fathom. They literally don't have the ability to understand and internalize that type of organized religion, and so they have made up, essentially, a cover god that is Khorne. Gork and Mork are Khorne. Or possibly another version of the Chaos Gods, but they are Khorne. So when an orc calls upon Gork and Mork and something warp-related happens, it's not a as-yet unseen god appearing in the warp to help the orcs. It is Khorne essentially helping them out because he likes them and because they're doing what he wants. How do I say this? How do I justify it? Orcs can fall to Khorne, but they can't really fall to any other Chaos God. And let's be honest, when they fall to Khorne, which again they have done, there are Khornate orcs, and there's also Tuska and his Wog, who have also become Khornate orcs. When that happens, do they actually understand that they're worshipping Khorne? Not necessarily. Quite frankly, I think that they are literally too lobotomized, too brain-dead, essentially, to understand the higher concept of what Khorne is as a god, and as a result, they worship proxy, which, let's be honest, a whole bunch of Chaos cultists worship a proxy god anyway. I mean, a bunch of folks, a bunch of Chaos cultists and Chaos worshippers, they don't worship the gods by name. Especially the proto-cults in, like, human history. They don't worship the gods by name. It's Khornath, Slanet, Tenet, all of these, like, off-brand, kind of brand, fake cult names for the gods. Because they simply haven't been elucidated and expanded out so much to understanding yet. And I think that the same thing applies with the orcs. So, when I say that they don't actually worship Gork and Mork, it's because they worship Khorne. Khorne is the god that they're actually worshiping, they just literally don't realize it. Again, evidence being they can fall to Khorne, and you couldn't really justify them falling to any other Chaos god. Also, I have a staunch belief that no one is immune from Chaos corruption of all types. So, no one. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter Tau, doesn't matter Eldar, doesn't matter Dark Eldar. Every single thing in the galaxy is, at a certain level, vulnerable to Chaos corruption. That includes Tyranids, by the way. I'll make that argument as well. If you wanna argue that Tyranids are immune from Chaos corruption, who, buddy, did a recent piece of lore actually prove that wrong? Because I've had that argument before. People are like, Tyranids don't have emotions. They can't have any... Consumption is an emotion. Rage is an emotion. Adrenaline is an emotion. How many Chaos Gods are there? 4. 4. And if you count the Emperor, which I do, 5. So 4 or 5 with the Emperor, if you count the Emperor, which I do. What is this? This man has cobalt skin boots. That's racist. These are actual thinking creatures, and this man is wearing them as boots. Awful. I'm glad I killed you. Also, I love how Cloudfolk Lady is just a regular thing in this world. I'm just killing a woman made of clouds. No biggie. Woman made of clouds, bashed in the head by a pickaxe. Yep, exactly. That's the thing. Everyone always is like, oh, Dark Eldar can't fall to the Chaos Gods because they're scared of them. Excuse me, when has fear of the Chaos Gods ever prevented someone from falling to them? Literally when. Literally whenever. It's straight up one of the biggest drivers for you falling to the Chaos Gods. It's like the exact opposite. Malus, the Emperor, the Machine God, plus the 4. I don't know, is the Machine God even a god anymore? He's apparently just the Catan now. And yeah, I wish Vashtor didn't exist, but I wish he didn't become part of the lore so that they could pretend that you can make more Chaos Gods out of nothing. That was a bad move by them, I'm not gonna lie. Just saying that, yes, Chaos Gods can pop out of nowhere and you can become one. Like, Ascension we all understood. Becoming a prince we all understood. We were all on board with that idea. And then they were like, if you try hard enough and you work hard enough and you get far enough along, you'll become a Chaos God. And I'm like, dude, Abaddon would have become fucking Archaon the Ever-Chosen millennia ago if that was the case. The man literally lives and breathes chaos corruption. He is way closer than Vashtor in terms of, like, progress towards becoming a god. Also, introducing the Dark Mechanicum and then giving us nothing the fuck else was just frustrating as hell. Titan pilot died and literally had a conversation with him. Yeah. I mean, there's examples of Malice, but here's the other thing. I love this as well, because what if Malice is just a face of Zeech? Because that's another theory that I've seen, is that Malice, and by the way, you know, Machine God aside, it probably being a Catan in the modern lore, I don't care about that. God is subjective when you're attaching it to machines. Machines don't have souls. It's implied that the Machine God isn't necessarily a gestalt in the warp. He's more of a function of reality, possibly given, you know, existence by warp entities or by the Catan. So I don't fuck with that, because he's apparently divorced from warp power, which is my thing. But yeah, the idea that Malal, or Malice, is a face of Zeech, or in some way a Zeechian ally or follower or something of that nature, I fuck with that heavy. Real heavy. So I'm on board with that theory. Undivided flavor. I think there are four just aspects of a true god that is yet to reveal itself. I mean, like I said, you don't have to worship the gods correctly for them to appreciate you and give them, and for them to give you gifts. I mean, it is wrong. It is wrong, but again, the Chaos Gods rarely care if you're worshiping the quote-unquote right way. That's just the thing. Again, it is based on human belief. So if you were to say, if it doesn't work, it isn't that you were wrong in doing it, it's that maybe you didn't have enough faith in doing it, or maybe not enough people were believing in it. But if you have enough humans, if you have enough human psyche and psychic power, souls, whatever it may be, the eyes of the gods will be drawn, and that's when, you know, warp becomes reality. And then whatever happens, happens, essentially. So I think you could worship them like that, but it's not right. True worshippers definitely wouldn't be happy about it. Well, perhaps it was the anathema. Again, it's wildly inconsistent, the machine god concept, so I generally don't put much stock. Again, not denying its existence, just saying I don't have enough information consistently between books for any actual conclusions on its existence or the nature of its being. That's probably the game. That's nice. Surely it can be both. Volcanoes does. If by surely you mean, like, it can be both the Emperor and a separate god, not really. But what do you mean? What do you mean by surely it can be both? Nids would be vulnerable to Slaanesh because of their consumption aspect, and Nurgle to their natural aspect. I mean, I would think Khorne as well. But the thing in that case, because they don't have a separate mind... By the way, there are members of the collective that have separate minds. My best example, and the one that I currently put a lot of eggs in that basket, Slotty, or not Slotty, what are they called? The Zotes. Yeah, Zotes, which, by the way, are still canon. There is more examples of Zotes existing, so they are a legit canon thing now. Or, well, they always were, but now they are even more canon. But, yeah, so Zotes can have independent minds, so there are examples of that. But with most Tyranids, you'd have to go the much more brute force way, which is you expose them to the warp physically. Because remember, Tyranids don't fucking touch the warp. Their travel requires them to be nowhere near the warp, and they do not interact with it. But if you forced them to interact with it, if you forced a Tyranid group into the warp, pretty solid chance that what would come out the other side would not be unafflicted by chaos corruption. And yeah, they will immediately try and, like, purify the ship or whatever that came with it, because they did that when they were fighting the Death Guard. They were like, oh damn, this ship has started to get affected by chaos corruption. Let's fucking glass it, basically. But yeah, it was a thing that happened. Yeah, see, that's my problem. Just praying in something and it becomes a warp god after 2,000 years. That's the issue, because that immediately makes me think, oh, so not a real god then, just an image of the other four. Because remember, the other four make note of shit in their realm, including anything that happens. And there's not been any general recognition by the gods of chaos of any new contender to the game, which, again, just makes me concerned about, is that just Tzeentch playing a trick? Is it some sort of, you know, messed up mix between Khorne and Tzeentch, or is it something else entirely? Again, not denying its existence, just questioning whether it is independent from the Chaos Gods or not. Because any confirmation from them, they confirmed that the Emperor's a god, basically, and they confirmed to a degree that malice exists, or at least the demons did, which the demons don't often speak exactly for their god, but they do tend to speak in their voice on occasion. So, yeah, no, I'm talking about gods in general now, as in, like, yes, the Emperor is 100% a Chaos God, and Tzeentch and Nurgle and Khorne are 100% Chaos Gods, so why has the Machine God not received the same recognition that they have? At least in terms of the Great Game. Because the Chaos Gods, they acknowledge the Emperor. They've not acknowledged, they've acknowledged Malal, like, from a secondary perspective, from the perspective of a demon. But they have not acknowledged the Machine God. Also, we don't have a lot of information about the Dark Mech, but it doesn't seem like the Dark Mech, put as much stock in the Machine God as the Mechanicus do. And if there was a Machine God to worship, you know damn well the Dark Mechanicus would be on that shit. Kids were built by the old ones. Nids were built by the old one as a Fireliner seed bank. Nope. 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 I don't follow that, like, how do I say? I don't follow that, like, Halo style mentality. Yeah, no. Alright. I think that's all that I got for right now. It's 11:30. I gotta get a drink. I gotta do my work. And then I have to record. So, I will wish you all a lovely